Welcome everyone to our second episode of our gaming talk show that it now has a name, the AtoZ Gaming Show. So his name is Arouno, my name is ZonoBRAH, so AtoZ, I think you got it. First, how are you, man? How's it going?
Hey, dude, it's so nice to see you once again. I'm so happy, once again to do this discussion, this show with you, and it will be a pleasure, yeah, to discuss about video game with you.
Alright, it's been the first episode is fun. Like, Arouno is one of my friends, so we just enjoy talking about video game. And today I came out with a subject that basically resumes itself to what makes a video game great. We are in the middle of the hype of Legion, of World of Warcraft 6 extension. We're in the middle of the No Man's Sky terrible shutdown or whatever, like kind of hype. I don't know how you call it. And I was really thinking of, with like the launch of Zono Post and about me talking about video games with all those writers and content creators, what makes a good video game from a great video game? A lot of people say it's graphics, a lot of people say it's only gameplay, a lot are most sensitive to the storyline of a video game, but I really want to talk about it and address it with you and see what you think. So, in my opinion, and what I said on the last podcast that I did, is that if for me, I'm not sensitive to story. Like, I'm not sensitive to the story, all the cinematics. I think this is really to put a context around it.
Did you not sensitive about the story? Like, for example, on World of Warcraft, you're not sensitive about all the mythology or all the story you go through?
I mean, I like it, but it's like, if it was not there and the game was as good as it is right now, it wouldn't have an impact. It's just me. Like I feel right now.
Yeah. It's like I can see a point.
It's like,
because personally, I'm a big RPG player. I played Oblivion, like basically all the other Scroll, all the Fallout, World of Warcraft since 10 years now, and
no, like
personally, I'm like the opposite. Like the story base. Like for example, on The Witcher, Witcher 3, the last one who came out on May 2015. It's a beautiful game with a beautiful story, beautiful storyline, beautiful character, and it's cool to see that we are opposite on this point of view.
So, for me, it's okay, it's how to say it. It's for me, it's okay. Let's say you're a game developer, right? And you come to me with your video game, and you tell me about the story of your video game, how cool it is. For me, it wouldn't matter if your gameplay is not interesting. So, you could have the coolest story, the coolest characters, the most amazing swords and shields and spell and graphics and whatever. But if your game is not fun and not entertaining and not competitive, which is what I really look at in video games, it's not gonna interest me a lot.
Yeah. Actually, I can understand, but sometimes I know that you love League of Legends. I used to be a player of League of Legends. I used to play on Season 1, Season 2, and I think I stopped on Season 3. And I was bored by the game. Like, every time I had to repeat the same sentence, you spawn level 1, and at the end, level 18. Yeah, I remember it's like level 18, something like that.
18, yeah.
Yeah, 18. And you buy the same stuff, you fight the same guys, and it's kind of bored, Or it's kind of boring.
Yeah, it makes me think that there's a gap between competitive game and there's a gap between a game that is meant to be competitive and a game that is meant to have a storytelling, right? So. I mean, I like to play games with a nice story. I'm not saying I'm completely redundant to those video games. I love to play Witcher 3. I thought it was an amazing experience. But I feel like I'm more attracted to competitive gaming. So when I play League of Legends, okay,
but I'm with you. But dude, I didn't say that I don't like competitive gaming. I'm with you on that. I love competitive gaming, but like if I can compare Dota 2 to League of Legends, I would say I prefer Dota 2 because on the story of Dota 2, like all the story about characters and stuff, or maybe like Heroes of the Storm, another MOBA, like all the heroes of the Blizzard universe fighting in the Nexus.
Okay.
So yeah, personally, I'm just like you, man. I love the esports, I love the competitive gaming, but I don't know, like in League of Legends, it's kind of empty for me.
But League of Legends has a story. Like it's like it has a story. It has like characters that are like enemies and like rivals and like. But like I feel like the things that Riot is not emphasizing on it like so much. Like there's a lore, there's stories around characters so that people that are sensitive to it can attach themselves to it. But Blizzard, it's like, okay, so let's talk about Blizzard now. Like Blizzard is an example of the game for me that is all around perfect. Like if I had to name
Which one? On which one?
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, World of Warcraft goes because like if you want to speak about Overwatch, for example, game
Yeah.
would have some aspiration to be a competitive and esport game. Personally, Overwatch I didn't like it. I didn't really enjoy playing on it, but World of Warcraft now we can see like a reborn of the esports and the competitive game with the PvP parts of World of Warcraft Legion. Yeah, excuse me, mate.
And no worries. Like we'll see how. I mean, we'll see how it will go. Like WoW has only like a week now. It's been out for what, like a week? Or
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah,
Tuesday.
Not even a week.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see how it's developed. I'm not even sure that more than 20% of people are level 110. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. Like I'm really curious about how it's gonna go, because one thing is that a lot of people are blinded by the hype. Blizzard is really good at it. Like their PR, whatever, the communication stuff is really, really good. And it might go down. It might go down. It might stay up. I mean, we will see. But like,
But I don't think so, because like with all the content they put in the game, I think Blizzard create like what they used to create with What of the Lich King, for example, or Burning Crusade, a huge and a big expansion with content, And if I had to compare with another expansion, for example, Draenor, so the previous expansion of World of Warcraft was empty. About like dungeon, red, PvP. The game was like the game wasn't moving, wasn't going anywhere. And with the Legion, I think it's a really good breath, a new breath, to Blizzard and World of Warcraft.
okay, of course. But like it's like I wish we could talk more about World of Warcraft. But like I feel like
Yes.
we can do this in another episode where
Yeah, for
like
sure.
we both had hours of playing it and stuff. And we will. But like let's really go back to like what makes a game great. Like so, you were telling me that storyline is really important, and I really agree with that. If I had to be a game developer, I would definitely invest in people that are good at it. But how far, like if you have to categorize what makes a video game good, right? It's gameplay, it's graphics, it's story, it's whatever you can think of. What makes a great game for you? Like when you see a game that is brand new, what are you more sensitive of? What do you pay attention to at first, at last? Just tell me a little bit tell me about your profile.
So, like when I buy a game, the first thing I kind of look at is the graphics, obviously. Like how am I gonna respond to the graphics of the game? How am I gonna respond to the universe of the game? How am I gonna react to the graphics, of the game? And how my personal odds sensitive gonna respond to the game? So it's the first thing I look. And after that, I play to the game, and it's the first. So it depends on RPG. On the RPG, I'm gonna judge the game on the first quest. The first quest is one of the most important, like because it's the one who puts you in the game, like who enter you in the game. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And for mobile, for example, it's the balance. the balance between players, between characters, and like yeah, like the graphics in the mobile. Personally, I don't think it's really important. It's the gameplay first, the reactiveness of the character you play, the spells, like all the mechanics of the game. But that's like for a game like Dota 2 or League of Legends.
Okay.
And after that, you do have like Counter Strike. So like the first time I played Counter Strike, I didn't know it was like an esport game. It was like so many years ago now.
Yeah.
And I remember that one thing to mark me, it was that the game was balanced. It was only the skill who will make the player better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not if you're a noob, you're a noob. You're just gonna need to train. You don't have stuff. You have nothing. Just like a MOBA actually, but sometimes in the mobile like League of Legends, you unlock some runes, some skills, some talents. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you talk about like
Yeah, and
CS:GO
you mate.
is like there's two things. Like CS:GO is a game where you can really 1v5, which I really like those type of game. It's like your whole team is dead. If you're
Clutch.
really good, you can just kill everyone. Like you can kill everyone. Like you have enough bullets. Like you don't have there's no like you can outplay everyone. This is really the major thing I love about CS:GO. But I think you raise interesting points in saying that you can be sensitive to different categories of stuff comparing to the game, if it's a MOBA, if it's an RPG, and whatever. But you said the first thing you pay attention to graphics is, like, the first thing you pay attention to is graphics in certain amount of game. And I don't know, I tend to not agree with that at a certain level. I mean, your game cannot be disgusting to watch and just, like, be horrible. But when you look at games like WoW, Minecraft, even League of Legends, even like what other games that are not really like whatever. Let's keep to those three. Like
Oh,
WoW,
Counter Strike. Counter Strike.
Counter-Strike. But
For example.
Source is not. I mean, we can say that it's not a beautiful game. But it's still a good-looking game. Like it doesn't hurt.
Global
your eye.
Offensive. Global Offensive compared to World of Warcraft, for example.
I mean, it's realistic.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the person.
Okay,
you know?
okay. Like, I mean, it's not like beautiful and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's still like, okay, it's not. It doesn't hurt to. It's not like cartoon. It's not. It's just. It's realistic. Like, but yeah, like I get your point. I get your point. No worries. And I feel like those are the best game in the market today. Like those are the best game in the market today. If you go look at Twitch viewers, all the people are watching those games. And I feel like graphics are not that important if you're trying to do a game that people would like. It's a matter of. I feel like it's a matter of entertaining more than in beauty because it's like
Yeah, but dude, actually, we speaking about AAA game. You know, when you're
okay.
on Steam, yeah, but like when you're on Steam, personally, like every week or every month, I go on the Steam Greenlight to check the new indie game.
Okay.
So I know
Independent, yeah.
like indie game, yeah, independent game. So like the indie game, the first thing you're gonna look it's the gameplay. So that's like for green light. So, but after that, when I gonna check Steam for a new game or new stuff or I don't know, the first thing I'm gonna do, it's check the graphics, like check the pictures Steam give me, you know. And if I'm gonna like the style of the game, the universe of the game, I'm gonna say, all right, let's try it. Let's give it a try. And so the graphics is like the first thing you see from the game. After that, you have the mechanics, gameplay, and all that stuff. Because when you want to buy a game, first thing you're gonna do is like check reviews, check videos on YouTube. I don't know, newspaper. I don't know. And the first thing you're gonna see of the game is pictures. You know what I mean? So it's just gonna be like the graphics of the game first. It's what I think actually.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely the first thing you see. Like of course, it's the first thing you see. But I feel like, so in the industry right now, in the gaming industry, people are trying to make you buy stuff by doing crazy like hype videos, previews, gameplay,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like look at the No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was videos of beautiful planets, beautiful spaceship, and people ended up hating it because the gameplay is so empty and the game is so meaningless.
You seriously, excuse me to cut you, but you think like the game is looking good? Because personally, I don't. It's not
I
my
don't know.
style,
No Man's
you know?
Sky for me is it's a beautiful looking game. I mean, come on, it's a good looking game.
Yeah, he looks great, but not that much.
Okay.
I prefer to play World of Warcraft. Actually, I prefer the
No, but-
graphics of World of Warcraft
Yeah, but like,
than No Man's Sky.
well, okay, so World of Warcraft is not like the graphics are not beautiful. It's a great looking game, but it's not like
Like a Witcher 3.
Blizzard has never
Witcher 3.
sold World of Warcraft saying it's a good looking game.
Yeah.
So it's
Plus,
not
it's
even
a 2004 game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but like, it looks way better than in 2004 though. Like
Yeah, obviously.
kind of created some stuff, right?
Hopefully.
And it's just like, wait, where was I?
Well, like speaking about the graphics of World of Warcraft compared to.
I feel like in the gaming industry, like people are trying to sell us with crazy videos and graphics and etc. and all that stuff. It's like in a movie. Like a movie, when you watch the previews, they give you all the good scenes, all the funny jokes, and you go to the movies and you see the same shit, and you're just bored and you're just disappointed. And I feel like in the gaming industry where everyone is for profit, they're trying to sell as much video game as they need. They're trying to make some crazy graphics that nobody cares about at the end of the day. And they sell hella stuff, they pre-order hella stuff, because now you can see that a lot of developers are doing pre-order marketing strategy. Where
And pre-order DLC in Plus.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. So
Like when you buy the game, you don't have all the game, you have to buy more, you know?
I mean, it's a business strategy, and it works. And it works. People are like, "Wow, crazy graphics! I'm gonna have a weapon like bigger than my leg, whatever." It's like, I don't know. It's like for me, it doesn't matter. Like what I want to see is that I want to go into your video game and not be able to go away from it. And I feel like this feeling I haven't felt it a lot. When I started to play
Like, do you have an example?
When I started to play WoW. I used to play in a line cafe that in Paris and stuff. I used to play WoW. I couldn't get my head out of it. Yeah, we met there, of course. But like, I couldn't get my head out of it. Like, I was obsessed with getting optimized, with doing more dungeons, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. League of Legends, the same thing. It's not a beautiful game. They don't sell it as a beautiful game. 5 years ago, it used to look shitty because it was a different map. I mean, go look at replays from 2012. Of LCS or first competition. It looks so bad, but it doesn't matter. Like the game is so fun, so competitive, and who cares if the minion is throwing like a little blue ball instead of a fire extraordinary. Like it's like for me, those are details, and I feel like people that are sensitive to graphics are just people that have not a lot of experience in gaming and what is really a video game about. Like. I feel like
no, but dude, when I say
no, I was not talking. I was not talking
like
about
the
you.
first
Especially.
thing you see, but obviously I'm just like you. Gameplay mechanics is like all the game. I don't add those. I'm not a console player actually, or I don't play really big AAA game. So yeah, obviously for me too, man. Like the mechanics, the gameplay is so damn important. It's like the first thing, but it's when you play, it's not the first thing you're gonna see from the game.
Yeah, no,
it's
like
what
me,
it's the fun I had. Like
like for me, graphics is good. Like you see the graphics, you're like, okay, this is beautiful, but then you just go over it. It shouldn't be for me. It's like it shouldn't be an argument of sell.
No.
In my last video,
totally.
I talked about Paragon. I don't know if you heard of it. It's a MOBA. Everyone is trying to do MOBAs today. People are like, okay, League of Legends is doing hella money. We want some market share. Let's create a MOBA, which I think is stupid because. I mean, even if you get some of the market share, like, why are you trying to do like people like others, and we can say like League of Legends copied whatever Dota 2, they're doing the same thing and over, but no, they try to do the same mod in a totally different way, and it worked for Smite, it worked for other MOBAs, but Paragon, when you watch their preview, when you watch their website, when you watch the videos, they tell you the game is beautiful. Like one of the first thing they want to tell you is that the game is beautiful, and for me that is the most meaningless stuff about a video game. Like I don't want to know if your game is beautiful. I don't care. I just want to see if it's fun, if I want to play it after an hour, after 2 hours, after 7 hours, after a million hours, and see what I can do with it. Like, yeah, like
I agree.
that's pretty much it for me.
I agree, and I play. So you know that I love simulator battle, like simulator game.
Oh yeah, what's the name?
I
What's the
play.
name of the game you play?
So I play War Thunder. I
Okay.
play War Thunder. War Thunder is a World War II simulator game about like so it's a plane and tanks plane and ships gonna be soon on like at the end of the year. And this game is so comparable to World of Tanks, for example. But War Thunder is more realistic graphics and gameplay.
Okay.
And it's similar to it's like a realistic slash sim game. So you pay attention, like on that kind of game, you pay attention to two things: to the realism of the game and the graphics of the game. So on that kind of game, you know, like simulator, battle, airplane, tanks, stuff, you really pay attention to those 2 points. Because like
Of course, yeah.
the realism of the game gonna make the gameplay and the mechanics of the game. So,
Yeah,
for example, if I take late German plane against the jets of the Korean War, obviously I'm gonna lose. You know.
okay, okay.
So like the realism make the gameplay.
The experience, yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
the experience of the player.
I totally agree. Like, I mean, when you're trying to do simulation, like, you're trying to simulate the experience, and like the graphics has to be there. That's for sure. Like, yeah, that's totally for sure. But yeah, like, I wanted to talk about this because, like, right now I feel that in the gaming industry, everyone is trying to get into. So yeah, like basically that was really like much what I said earlier about people trying to impress the masses with fancy, crazy looking graphics.
Like for example, Battlefield 1. You know, like when you see
Exactly.
on Twitch, Battlefield 1, everyone is everyone is like, oh my god, that game is beautiful. I want it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna spend 1,000. I'm gonna spend $100 on it. Like, just I'm gonna pre-order. I'm gonna buy the DLC. I'm gonna buy season pass. I'm gonna buy everything from the game, and I didn't play it.
Mm,
That's
totally agree.
that's madness. That's madness, man.
I
Like,
totally agree.
how can you buy a game before its release? And I seriously think that the pre-order economic strategy on the video game industry is what is killing the video game. You know, because like 10 years ago, 7 years ago, we had company who deliver full and finished game.
Oh yeah, now that's over. Like they don't want that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like they're trying to maximize profit. Like every company is trying to do this. It's what people do. But I feel like I don't know. I don't want to say garbage, but like I feel like there's companies that sells like garbage games like this because they know that a lot of people are not critiques. Like a lot of people don't know a lot about video games. Like I mean, I don't want to say they're not like us because we're not professionals and stuff. We play a lot, but like, we're not professionals. Like we haven't played for many years. But we still have this critique eye saying that okay, this company is trying to sell me stuff. They're throwing at me videos of crazy gameplay.
Yeah,
or
because it's
whatever.
been a while we played, dude. It's been a
Exactly,
while
exactly.
it's been a while we are playing video games. Personally, it's
So we're
since
used to it. Like we're used to it
three.
now.
Yeah, we are used to it. So
Yeah.
I just want to speak about one game. So I just say, you know, like industry video, like Electronic Arts, Activision, and all that kind of company
Yeah.
do not sell full finished game. But there is one, like with The Witcher 3, CD Projekt release 2 expansion, and I say expansion, like Blood and Wine and Hearthstone, Hearthstone, and those 2 expansion a real expansion. You know,
Okay.
like we had, for example, in I don't know if you remember, but I used to play a game whose name Age of Mythology, and you had Age of Mythology
I don't.
first,
I
and
don't. I
after
don't.
that
So
you
what's
had
Age of
Age of
Mythology for
Mythology
people who don't
Titan.
know?
It's a RTS based on Greek mythology,
Okay.
and it had been follow. It's the same company who made Age of Empire and all that kind of game. You
Okay.
know, it's like Assemble Studio something, and THQ and Sega and all that kind of company. So and those kind of company like Creative Assembly, for example, the company who made Total War Warhammer, who's been out on May 2016.
Mm-hmm.
They release good content with real DLC, but it's not AAA company. That's the point.
So like,
They are not AAA company.
I heard you say AAA. Like, could you like, what is a
You want me?
AAA?
Oh wait, so AAA
Like
company.
I know what like because like I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
people wouldn't know what it means. Like yeah, just explain what do you mean by it?
So it's like the mark AAA, it's an economic term. So in like I'm gonna say into real life, but like outside of the video game industry, economic company mark country, for example, on mark. So you have A, double A, triple A, B, the triple D, whatever. And so you do have the same in the video game industry. So a company who's make a triple A company is a company who make profits, a large amount of profits, and who do have I don't know, it's 25 or 30,000 employees.
It's like a certain number of like
So
big
it's a
profit.
big company.
So
So a
like
triple A company.
example of
Big.
AAA would be like EA,
You do have Electronic Arts, yeah, EA, Activision, Blizzard.
Ubisoft.
No, Ubisoft actually is not a triple A company.
No, okay.
No, no, they're not.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. And I think that's all.
Okay.
Like, yeah, Sony, for example, Microsoft, for example, like all.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So wait. So yeah, like all those AAA's are trying to make as much profit as they like. I mean, it's like this that it works in every industry, unfortunately. But because the gaming and the esports industry is very new, like it's really coming to us, and like seeing this happen kind of hurts my soul in a way that I'm like, oh my god, they're trying to sell those garbage DLCs,
Play your soul,
those
man. Play your soul.
those unfinished games to some kids that are taking their parents' money, and their parents don't even know what's going on, and like it's like it is good for industry. Like if the industry makes money, it's good. It's good for the industry. But it's like it makes me sad about all those people spending money on very expensive games that are not finished, that sometimes have a deadline, but because it couldn't be respected, they just like finished it and wrapped it up and just sent it to you. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I really like I really like this subject, and I could go on and on and on for hours about what makes a really good video games. But I feel like what we can get from what we talked about is that it really depends on the category of video game. What is the purpose of your video games? Are you trying to simulate something? Are you trying to do a story? Are you trying to tell a story to your audience, or are you trying to just do an arena or a video game that is around competitiveness? Like you want people to be better than their friends. Like you want people to go and play tournaments. For me, the best example of someone that does all that is World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is a video game that we both love and that we respect so much because it's been going on and successfully for so many years, despite a few fails on expansion like Draenor, like you said. I just feel like this is a game that is absolutely for everyone, and that it has so many facets, it has so many to it, so many sides to it, that if you're trying to be casual, if you're trying to be RP, if you're trying to be competitive, if you're trying to be hardcore, if you're trying to be casual, whatever, World of Warcraft has a place for you. And other games, I'm sure, will do it, but I feel like the best example I can tell you is this game. So
Yeah, but you know there is
yeah,
one wall between like what you said and reality. It's the money. It's an expensive game. It's like you have to subscribe. It's more than $10 a month,
of course, of course.
and But the game is not very expensive actually. It's like $15 plus the expansion. It's like 50 plus the subscription. Yes. So in plus, you can reach
Of course, no, but
100.
like, okay,
But-
so if you want to go on the subject, like, I feel like for me, WoW is not an expensive game. In a way, and like people are like, what the hell is not an expensive game? Like, it's taking money away from me every month. Wait, like, for me, it's not an expensive game because
Yeah, like how many hours have you spent on World of
no,
Warcraft?
but exactly. For me, it's not an expensive game because of the number of hours of entertaining it can provide you. That's for me, like, it. And what is like people who buy one game a month spend $60 on video games a month, and it's still less than that. And WoW is still a game that, I mean, we can go on and on about subscription and whatever. But yeah, I was saying all that to wrap things up. Like, do you have anything you want to add, or do you want anything that you wanna tell the audience of millions of viewers watching us right now on Twitch? Maybe, say hi to your mom or whatever.
Yeah, dude. I just had maybe one last example.
Shout outs to my fan. No, just kidding.
Just maybe one last example. It's Star Wars Battlefront. I don't know if you played Star Wars Battlefront 2 on your PSP or PS2 or PC.
Wait, PC, yeah. No, like Battlefront, the last one, right?
No, Battlefront 2.
Oh,
the one 10 years ago. The one 2003.
I haven't played that.
And this one, like the 2015, right? 2015. Oh my god, it's a huge mess. That game is what I call a AAA, excuse me the term, a AAA shit.
Yeah, but
it's DLC content.
It's exactly what we
just
said.
made that game is just made for you to spend money on it,
And how did
So,
they
like,
sell
the game-
it? How did they market it? Beautiful videos, control lightsaber, fight with Darth Vader, and you go in the game, you play an hour, you drop your controller, and you're like, this game is shit. Give me my money back.
And balance, gameplay suck. I just spent $60 for nothing.
And I think, yeah, but I think it's really sad. I think it's really sad because the thing is that some people like it, but I feel like most of the people don't know how good it could have been if people were just not throwing money around.
Galactic mode, spaceship, everything have been missed on this game. Everything.
All right. So I guess that will be it for the second episode. I'm glad we find a name for this show, and hopefully we can do it every week. Every week. So. I mean, you say every week. Last week I was alone.
No, last week was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday night, and I didn't have internet.
Because I record. Yeah,
That's why. I just moved on.
I'm just fooling around. No worries. All right, thank you, man, for being here again. And
thank you.
I mean, yeah, like last time. Next time, maybe you'll pick the topic. I'll pick the topic. We'll see what we talk about. If you guys have any suggestion, please feel free to tweet at us, ZonoBRAH and Max Briat under his image. Yeah, and thank you so much for being here and watching this on YouTube or on Twitch. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.